Morning 6:01 is the time. Let's go ahead and give you a live look outside on the 5 in both directions. This is coming in from Old Town Avenue. So this is as you pass the old Spay building and you head towards the 8. Maybe you're headed to Linda Vista, Mission Bay, Sunset Cliffs, Point Loma. Meanwhile, this is that drive. We're now at a crawl and it's cloudy out there. And I'm also seeing some patchy fog, especially along the 78 near the Ramona area. So look out for that. Here's what it looks like coming in from Chula Vista as you make your way towards the 54 connector. Another cloudy view. This is the 8 in both directions right at Lake Murray. That's at Westbound Drive as you make your way inbound towards the College area. All right, here's what I'm talking about when regarding the patchy fog just west of Ramona and near the Poway area, right along the 67 and 78 is where we're seeing the worst of it. Look out for this. SIG alert has been issued following a crash partially blocking the eastbound lanes out in Ramona on the 78. That's at Sutherland Dam Road. Coming up a little later, we'll take a look at what your Tuesday travel times have in store. That's all ahead. Back to you guys. Actually, it looks like there could be some activity in the distance there. It looks like maybe a fire. I don't know if that's some cloud cover. But we'll double check on that. That's the 5, though. This is a northbound drive as you make your way in from Chula Vista, headed north, lanes in Ramona. I would say off for surface streets, but there aren't a lot of alternate routes to get around this. So just make sure that you leave time for travel. Right now, I'm not tracking any major slowing as you make your way either east or westbound out of the Ramona area. We're also tracking a bumper in the HOV lanes in Rancho Penasquitos on the 15 South right at Ted Williams Parkway. And that could slow things down as you make your way southbound this morning. All right, let's go ahead and pull up those travel times. About 3 to 7 minutes. Actually, there is a fire entry about an hour 40, about an hour 20 to get you in from Otay Mesa's port of entry. Back to you guys. Big rig explosion. And you can see that all lanes are completely shut down and all traffic just about a quarter of a mile north of that is at a complete standstill. As of right now, Caltrans says that crews are going to have this pocket closed for at least the next 3 to 4 hours. We're told that a big rig and potentially another vehicle was involved in this explosion. And right now it looks like they're assessing the damage in addition to getting that situation under control. Chopper 8 is cars that are just at a standstill and cannot move until this crash clears. So this is the 805 South, again, right where it meets that 8 off ramp to get into the Mission Valley area. As we take a look at just north of the 163 is being diverted to the 163 South to get onto the 8. You can opt for the 52 East and get on the 15 South that way to get around and avoid that incident, or you can hop on the 52 West and hop on the 5 South that way. If you're coming in from the South Bay, as you can imagine, this is going to cause a major headache for you if you're headed northbound into the Mission Valley area. You would opt for the 15 into the Normal Heights area to get around that gridlock, or towards the 94 into downtown San Diego, and then either get onto the 163 or the 5. Again, Cruise or Caltrans has said that likely this closure will be in effect for at least the next 3 to 4 hours while they continue to clean up and investigate. And of course, we'll keep you updated throughout the morning. We also have one of our reporters en route to the scene who will bring us updates as well throughout the newscast. So we'll keep you updated on that. Back to you guys. San Diego County, right along the 805 in the heart of Mission Valley near Hotel Circle. As we take a look at our traffic maps, you could just see all of the red surrounding that area where the 8 and the 805 meet. Now here's a live look from up right here. So hopefully they start to open at least one of the lanes to all the traffic, the cars that have just been kind of parked there since this has been going on for now over an hour. Meanwhile, for those who are headed on the 805 southbound, all traffic is being diverted to the 163 for now. But to get around this, if you're north of the 163, I would take the 52 in either the east or west direction, get on the 5 or the 15 to get around that gridlock there. And then if you're headed northbound, it's going to be a brutal drive coming in from the South Bay. Opt for the 94 west into downtown and either get on the 163 or the 5 northbound as alternate routes, or you could take the 15 into Normal Heights, get back onto the 8 that way, or even just take the 15 all the way through to the 52 if you have to go anywhere north of the 8 freeway this morning. As you can imagine, this is going to be just, again, a mess across our major freeways and for drivers as you kind of get your Tuesday going. So just make sure that you're planning ahead, especially if you have to get anywhere on time this morning. But again, let's go ahead and give you another look. They said that they could have these lanes closed for at least the next 3 to 4 hours while they continue to mop up the debris and investigate. But of course, we will continue to bring you updates throughout the morning, but just make sure that you're planning ahead as you head out the door. Back to you guys.
That mess.
Yeah, I mean, and the plumes of smoke were so large that you could see it all the way from Chula Vista. We didn't even think it was a car fire. And then, of course, the more that we investigated, we found out that this was a big rig explosion on the 805 South right at the 8 in the heart of Mission Valley. As you can imagine, this is causing a lot of slowing. It's pretty much gridlocked as you make your way southbound towards the Mission Valley area. Right now, cars are at a standstill, so they're not even able to move because once this crash occurred, crews just blocked all of the lanes headed south onto the 8 off ramp and onto the 8 into the North Park area. Now to get around, it's headed northbound because we are pretty much at a gridlock right in the Mission Valley area. You can travel into Normal Heights and then get up back onto the 8 that way, or you could just take the 15 all the way north. If you're traveling, again, anywhere north of the 8, you could opt for the 5, maybe take the 94 west into downtown and either get on the 163 or the 5 in either direction. Any news that we hear throughout the morning pertinent to this crash, but just make sure that you're planning ahead as you head out the door this Tuesday. Evan. Rightly put it. We have been following this breaking news out in the Mission Valley area in the heart of central San Diego on the 805 South right at the 8 freeway, where there were reports of a big rig explosion around the 6 o'clock hour that had all major slowdown coming in from the 805 just south of the 52. You can opt for the 15 or the 5 to get around that slowing. Again, crews have opened one lane, just one lane to traffic on the 805 South, but you can see that there is a gridlock for those who are traveling out of the South Bay headed north this morning. Alternate routes to get around this. Make sure that you're planning ahead. If you have a meeting or somewhere you got to be where you have to be on time, I would call ahead and just let them know you're likely going to be late. You could opt for the 805 to the 15 connector into Normal Heights to get around that slowing on the 805, or you can use the 94, head into the Golden Hills South Park area towards downtown, and then hop onto the 163 or the 5 to head northbound this morning. Let's go ahead and pull up some of your travel times. Again, we get you in from San Ysidro to the 94. 5 South, right above the 8 freeway in the heart of Mission Valley. She was live there at the east or west direction, and either hop on the 5 South or the 15 to get around that slowing. If you're coming in from the South Bay headed north, anywhere near North Park, brace yourself to get you in from San Ysidro to the 94, and that's not even counting the travel from the 94 up to the 8. So just an hour to get you from San Ysidro up to that stretch. Meanwhile, a lot of folks are using the 5 to also get around this, but this is also seeing a good amount of slowing in from the 54 up to the 8, 20-mile-per-hour speeds. Let's go ahead and see what some of your other major freeways are facing right now in terms of travel times. About 8 minutes, not too bad on the 8 west coming in from the College area to the 805, and then we're now looking at about a 25-minute ride in from the Lemon Grove area to downtown. Again, I suspect that the 94 is heavily congested as folks opt for the 94 to get around that slowing into Mission Valley. 15 minutes at last check to get you in from Santee from the 125 towards the 15. If you're headed southbound in from Oceanside and Encinitas, again, a lot of people likely using the 5 or the 15 instead of the 805 to head south. Right now, about a 20-minute drive for those traveling in from the Oceanside or Escondido neighborhoods. Back to you guys. Fired from space, scanning the entire planet in 3D down to the meter. That's the goal of a new San Diego-led NASA mission, and it's set to launch around 2030. I take a look at how it could transform the way that we track climate change. It's truly a main artery that drivers use every day to get either to and from the north end or the south end of the region. And I'm actually told that there could be significant and either use the 5 or the 15 if you're headed southbound anywhere from the North County County. And then this is also causing just a headache for drivers coming in from the South Bay. It is just stop and go, speeds down to about 5-10 miles per hour. Even south of the 94, stop and go traffic starting there. So you could use the 5 or maybe the 15 to get around that slowing. As we take a look at the travel times, this is just from San Ysidro to the 94, about an hour and 10 northbound. We'll be back after this. Looking at all of the Caltrans cameras a few minutes ago, the 805 right now looks like an absolute parking lot as you make your way northbound in from Chula Vista. In fact, we'll show you where the stop and go traffic starts. But just looking in the travel time in from San Ysidro to the 94, it's not even taking into consideration the drive north of the 94 as you make your way up to Mission Valley. Meanwhile, I would say opt for the 5, but even the 5 is seeing its fair share of slowing in from the 54 up to the 8 freeway, now about a 35-minute drive. And speeds right now, this is, again, just being generous, anywhere between 15 to 20 mile per hour speeds headed northbound on both of those freeways. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the drives headed westbound. The 8 is going to be plugged up coming in from the College to the 805, about 7 minutes, and nearly 20 right now on the 52 headed west towards the 15 connector. Back to you guys. And everywhere is at a crawl, including the 5, the 805, the 125. Right now, it's a brutal drive for those headed in from the South Bay, even out of the North County as well, headed southbound this morning. So in case you're just tuning in, we are following a SIG alert following a big rig explosion that occurred around for over an hour. This isn't even factoring in the drive from the 94 up to the 8 freeway. So that's about an hour and 3 minutes, speeds anywhere between 10 to 15 miles per hour. If you're taking the 5 north in from National City up to the 8, it's about a 30-minute drive. So yeah, if you have to get somewhere on time, maybe you got to catch a flight or you have a big meeting to attend, I would plan ahead right now this morning as you head out the door. I wish I had better news, Evan, but important, just an absolute mess in both directions. In fact, this is a live look at the slide. Even the 94 is at a crawl due to that activity on the 805 right at the 8 connector. As we go ahead and give you a live look above the 8 freeway, and then that's that on-ramp to get onto the 8 east. And this is what it looks like. I'm going to step out of the way. I do not. Right now, we are at a standstill across so many of our major freeways, 805 being the main one, all due to a big rig explosion that occurred around, even factoring in the drive north of the 94 on the 805. This is just from San Ysidro up to the 94 near the City Heights area. That itself will take you about an hour northbound. As I mentioned, I would say opt for the 5 because that freeway could be a little faster to get where you got to go, but it's even slow there as far as the average speeds were in both freeways. 5 and the 805 were down to about 20 miles per hour, so 30 minutes to get you in from National City up to the 8. So yeah, if you're just tuning in, just brace yourself for a lot of slowing coming in from the South Bay and even the North County as you make your way southbound this morning. The drives headed in from the East County west aren't too bad, but I do expect slowing on the 94, specifically after you pass the 805, because a lot of people are opting for the 94 west, hopping on the 5 or the 163 to get around that slowdown on the 805. 25 minutes in from Lemon Grove to downtown right now. In from the College area to the 805 will take you about 10 minutes on the 8 west, and then if you're coming in from Santee, not too bad, about 20 minutes at last check. All right, now let's go ahead and take a look at the drives coming in from the North County. Oceanside down to Encinitas will take about 25 minutes, but again, a lot of people likely opting for the 5 to just avoid the 805 altogether. At the top of the Golden Triangle, they're likely just staying on the 5 freeway instead of the 805. 20 minutes right now in from Escondido down to the 163 merge. Average speeds about 37 miles per hour there. And then, of course, we got to mention the 78 west in from the 15 to the 5, about a 30-minute drive. Average speeds about 35 miles per hour. Eric, base scanning the entire planet in 3D down to the meter. That's the goal of a new San Diego-led NASA mission, and it's set to launch rather soon in 2030. Now, I took a look at how it could transform the way that we track climate change.